Good morning, everybody, and happy Saturday. We made it through another week of whatever the hell is going on. How's everyone doing? Let's roll through the chat and say hello. Hold on. Oh, the chat ran away. Joe, Mr. Morgan, how are you? Just Josh, my brother from the other side of Texas, where they actually have green things as opposed to snow cactus and scorpions, which he's well aware of what we have out here. Hey, Scott, Cece, how you doing? Ark, wow, man, hello. Everyone's favorite Viking, Mr. Shad. Um, Mad Shad, by the way, side note, I found somewhere that makes not only the old Viking war axes, like real ones, but a place that makes medieval maces, but in modern form. I need to find that link, and you and I need to have a conversation because it's freaking cool. I mean, could you imagine running out with a mace and a Viking shield? I mean, people would just run. They wouldn't even care. Hey, Loretta, hello, hello. Ark, how are you? Hold on, I lost the chat here. Scott Hummer, hello, Scott, how are you? Loretta, good to see you this morning. And oh, that's constitutional again. Hello again. Random there. I knew someone else had popped in here. And Alexandra, Alex, you were on fire 2 weeks ago. God, I played back one of the ones where I don't know, you were about the face pampers and someone being stupid at work. And I was having a bad day at work. So I replayed your day and I'm like, okay, that's kind of funny. For the record, I've been told that referring to someone as an asshat in a meeting is not nice. Hey, Carol, good morning. Oh, yeah, she's studying too. Alex, the offer's open. If it's anything math or physics related, I still got my undergrad books down here, so I can probably, if you can't find it online now, you can look up everything. But yeah, let me know. Josh, hold on. I am a strange hippie chick. Oh, careful now. That's dangerous. Joe's thinking about what he wants to say. Like, Klingon Princess, buenos dias. How are you today? Maces are brutally effective. Yes, yes, they are. I'll see if I can find the link while we're all here chit chatting. Erg. Mm, okay, I think is mechanical though. Rescue, wait, somebody else snuck in here. The Watchman, there you are. Howdy, Watchman. Josh. Wait, someone snuck in. Oh, there's Rescue. Howdy, Rescue. The news is suppressing one. Actually, that's one of the various things on my list of topics today. So normally when I do a Sitrep where I go through all the government and corporate and international news sources that I'm privy to, because some of them you can't get on this mailing list, but I still am on. And so I can only read the public release stuff, right? Otherwise, then they knock on my door, and nobody wants that. But yeah, I saw that this morning. I'm like, oh yeah, that's so cool. Yeah, definitely, Alex. And actually, there are a lot of talented people in the chat. So yeah, random. Wait, hold on, I lost bad shit. What's up? Or bad shite, depending on how you pronounce it. All right, oh, I lost the chat here. Hold on a second. Tennessee uranium fire. Yeah, there's okay. So since you guys brought it up, because that was one of the things I wanted to talk about. Let me see if I can bring this up because I can speak to this because I've been in this industry. Pemex hit by fires at 3 facilities in one day. And then, so it says wait, hold on. Can you guys see that? Okay. Hey, Jeep Girl. Buenos dias. Okay, so Watchman and Chad, do I need to do like a Friday night fajita live and show you guys how I do the fajitas on a cast iron? Or in a Foreman grill, depending on how lazy I'm being. Each has their pros and cons. They're really good though. And I do the pico de gallo and everything. Anyway, can you guys see that okay? Just to make sure I'm not talking to a blank screen there. Okay, thank you, Carol. All right, so it says three fires broke out at different facilities in Mexico and the United States operated by state-owned Mexican oil company Pemex, leaving five missing and eight others injured as of Thursday evening. Five people were unaccounted for in the fire at the storage facility in the state of Veracruz that had sent three others to the hospital. And the cause of the fire, which was put out, has not been determined. Now, I'll tell you right now, then it says Pemex confirmed later that Thursday evening that a separate fire at Minatitlan refinery, also in Veracruz, was under control. And then there was a third fire in Deer Park. Now, normally, Loretta, homemade pico, yes. Hey, Estatian, how you doing? Yeah, yeah, Alex, it's a lot of time. It does take a lot of time, doesn't it? Like the content creators who were in the chat last night when I did that pop-up live, everyone was kind of talking about, yeah, it's kind of crazy. Um, anyway, so you see this. So Veracruz, Mexico should be, if I'm thinking correctly, is on the Gulf Coast. So it's on the east coast of Mexico. If you took a line from where like Houston is, that curve of Texas, and you went straight south to the Yucatan Peninsula, it's like just above the Yucatan. That is also the, I guess you could say, the primary receiving facility for a massive Gulf of Mexico oil and gas field managed by Pemex, Exxon, and Chevron. So just so you guys understand, the hey Pilgrim, welcome. So Pemex is the Petroleros Mexicanos, and it's government owned. So in Mexico, oil and gas is not private companies bidding and doing their thing. It's a basically a government monopoly. However, they also know they don't have a lot of the skills, the technology. So they will partner with the Exxons, the Chevrons, the Schlumbergers, the Halliburtons, all those big oil companies you read about in the stock market, and they'll pair up. But Veracruz, that whole coastal area, which is away from the beaches, is kind of like a more like an industrial town. Think of like a Pittsburgh or an Allentown or Newark, but on a tropical coast where all it does is oil and gas coming in and out and other goods, right? So to see one fire in a refinery is not uncommon, right? It's an industrial, you think about it, it's an industry that has, uh, we're dealing with a lot of moving parts, a lot of human beings, a lot of equipment, and very volatile chemicals and petrochemicals. So not uncommon for a refinery to have a fire, to have some incident, but they're rare because there's a lot of safeguards, especially when the national company, and Pemex runs a pretty decent shop, also partners with the Exxons, the Chevrons, all these, American and Canadian countries, kind of like this big conglomerate. They all work together. So there's safety standards. So it's not uncommon to have an accident. It happens. But to have one company owned by a country that shares a border with us have three incidents in three facilities in the course of one day, that's weird. Like Exxon in Baytown, which is near Deer Park, um, has had issues in their old refinery because it's like built in the 60s. They've been upgrading it over the last 5 years, but some stuff failed before they could repair it, right? That happens. But three in one place, that's weird. And now this comes on the heel of multiple derailments, large derailments, not like, oh, there are a bunch of chickens all over Kansas or something. No, we basically destroyed a town in Ohio with God knows what, vinyl chloride and Satan's juice and all this other stuff. Hey, Candy, do that. Hey, the Watchman. Well, see, that's the decline of Western civilization, Watchman. Just my 2 cents, but when the people cannot do their day-to-day business because the roads and streets have been taken over by Mad Max wannabes, it's a problem. But this, oh, no, that here, uh, it's reversed on the screen. That's concerning. It almost smacks of, well, if I wanted to pick a fight with someone, how would I mess with them? Well, let me go and make their trains crash, and then, we'll go mess with their fuels because all that Veracruz refining, if they don't refine it right there in Mexico, it comes to Houston. Hence why Pemex has a licensed facility in Deer Park, Texas, which consequently, Deer Park is also where some of those Ohio chemicals that they actually were able to contain and suck up were being deprocessed and broken into components for disposal or reuse. You guys tracking me here? That's concerning. Yeah. I can't stand it. Now you're playing it. Yeah, absolutely. Now I'm gonna have that song in my head for the rest of the day, Joe. Awesome. Uh, it's just weird. Wait, what was that? Short about Mercedes. Oh, okay. Hold on. So this is really weird. Hey, oh, hey, C Farmer. Uh, and if I missed anyone in the chat, I'm sorry. It's it's just too many coincidences. Too many. And you guys know me. I'm a technical guy, so I'm like, I'm gonna look at it and go, well, the percentage you will have accidents. Not like that. Like I know people who work for that company. I have sat with them and had coffee and used and be like, hey, how's business going? And there's protocols. There's Yeah, that bothers me. Now, could it be the cartels? The cartels, it wouldn't be of interest to them. If anything, it would get them unwanted attention. So that doesn't make sense. If anything, they're probably using those same docks to traffic people or drugs or guns or whatever. So they don't want to attract more attention, especially if it involves fuels coming to the US, because then the Black Hawks go down there and start trouble. They don't want that. So that doesn't make sense. And why would they come to Houston and start a fight? That's really going to get attention. Then you have the FBI and all the other agencies will pounce on you. They've gone down that road in the 80s and it ended badly for the cartels. So they're like, it just doesn't make sense. If the company has that many stupid engineers working for them, they should all be fired. But that doesn't make sense because you'd think like, even if it was one dude or one group of people in one spot, like the offshore well, the Macondo incident, right? BP, when it polluted a bunch of the Gulf of Mexico, it was one location and it was a group of people made a bad set of decisions and the rig caught fire. But it was there. You didn't see rigs blowing up left and right. That's just, and I'm in this industry. I've been in the energy sector dealing with all the solar, the wind, the oil and gas. And I'm like, that's freaking weird. That's too many. But I don't know. I can't, much like you guys, I can't put my finger on it. No, baby. Oh, hold on. That's the other thing. I'm getting, actually, you guys, God, you guys are on fire today. You're getting ahead of me, but that's fine because you're helping me lead into the next subject. Mm, mm. Oh, for those of you who are asking, this one's a Black Rifle Communist Company. I know some of the guys beat them up because of stuff they said on TV, but I'd rather drink their coffee than Starbucks. Starbucks is, I'm still angry at them. They're like, they said, oh, we're going to hire 8,000 veterans, and then they didn't, but they hired people who were here illegally, and I was like, well, what about the veterans? And then they finally did, but by then I was angry at them. Yeah, and like we said last night in that pop-up live, uh, I have no problem teaching the younger generation the things they may need. I don't know what they'll need ultimately, right? You and I don't. Joe and I could kill a bottle of bourbon one day and still not have a good answer on what we should teach the next generation, right? We'd probably have different ideas. But at the end of the day, if we're teaching them and showing them, all we can hope is that they're aware enough to go, wait a minute, they did run out of canned food the other day. What if that happens again? Maybe I should have canned food in my house. And you start poking at the young ones and just get them thinking. Case in point, I went to Chick-fil-A and there was a little girl with a beanie And right across here, I had this big thing, Obey. And I'm like, Obey? Obey why? So I look up the brand, and apparently Obey was started by some philosophy major. I don't basically wearing the word obey is a reverse psychology thing because you see obey and you're like, why should I obey? That's the whole point. They name the brand after the thing they don't want you to do. They want you to question, they want you to challenge, they want you to. So the whole brand is based on this quasi reverse psychology stuck into a marketing gimmick. And I was like, that's pretty cool. So, there's hope there, but we just got to keep poking at them. My strong woman is the guy starting the tacos for tonight. Yes, to Fajita Friday Live. Okay, so we got votes on Fajita Fridays. He picked out his first Kalishnikov. Oh, I lost your chat, Joe. I was reading it and went thump, but Joe had helped someone pick out their first Kalishnikov. All right. Well, I don't know. Obama had a lot of little mantras, but the whole brand is supposed to be one of those counterculture things. And considering what's going on today, maybe that's not a bad thing. And it may be a spin on that. Maybe somebody was like, you know what? He said do this, and then he betrayed us. So let's challenge everyone. Maybe it's not a bad thing that these young kids that I'm seeing now, they're challenging people. Hey Chinook, did Chinook sneak in here? Somebody wants tacos now. Hold on, I lost the chat again. It jumps on me and StreamYard. But anyway, this is very concerning to me. At the very least, it's disruptive. Was it a terrorist attack? Was it oh there? What's up, Chinook? A terrorist attack? Was it a something else? I don't know. Possible. We don't know. It's hard to say. Or they're saying that to cause the price to go down so somebody can buy it out. You know what I mean? They're playing tricks in the news to force stocks to go up and down. The Tesla emblem is a Baphomet. Oh, now I'm going to have to go look up what the Baphomet looks like versus the Tesla. That's freaking me out now. But just so you guys know, so let me find out, Deer Park, Texas. And apparently I cannot spell. Hold on a second here, gang. No thanks, I do not want that. Okay, so I'm going to share this screen with you. Bear with me just a second. So there we go. I think that's it. Let me make that bigger. You need to see me there. I'm sorry, Klingon. Definitely. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's supposed to be counterculture, but maybe it's a subtle brainwashing. I don't know. No, we shouldn't. We should challenge their asses constantly. Hey, Suburban, did Suburban sneak in here? And that was weird. Someone just went running down the street, but it didn't look like he was wearing like running clothes. It was just like someone bangs on the door. I'm going to go out there with a bat. Anyway, so this is Houston. And so I'm going to jump back to so Deer Park is right here. All across here is a bunch of refineries. And this is the third largest bay in the United States, the Houston Ship Channel, right? So here's Galveston. Here's the island. The beach here is really fun. And all the shipping, you have a bunch of refineries up and down here. And that's Deer Park. This is where not only the Pemex fire was, but the chemical coming from Ohio is supposed to go there right now. the judge and mayor of Houston are actually trying to do their job and stop it until they get people to audit what the hell they're bringing to Houston. But look what's just south of there. Space Center Houston. That's mission control for NASA. That is the mission control, like, Apollo 13, Houston, we have a problem. That's the Houston they were talking to. That is not a small, nor is it an unimportant facility. Just south of it in Webster, oops, hold on. Apparently, I do not know how to use the map. And I can't find it now. Well, aside from the university, see if I can find it here. I found them. Is the Ellington Air Force Base. Oh, it's just north, my bad. Ellington was the central hub for Hurricane Harvey operations. It has the Air Force, Coast Guard, Marines, Army Reserve, National Guard, State Guard, and a Navy contingent. It also provides the F-16s to basically protect the Houston area. And all of a sudden, we have all this stuff going on around all these items. Space Center, Ellington Reserve, because other than Ellington, the next nearest fighter, like defensive airfield, is Corpus Christi, NASCAD, Naval Air Station, Corpus Christi, or you have to go to San Antonio, to Lackland, or to Belle Chase, Louisiana. That's an important hub right there. And that bothers me. You know what I mean? A damn train. You know what? They'd probably be better off drinking the cheap liquor, because the cheap liquor will take longer to kill you. Well, they should have a bill of lading on that stuff. Hey, yard dog, did yard dog sneak in here? Yard dog. All right, drive safe. Yeah, definitely, guys. Don't, you know me, I'm always saying be safe on the road. I spend way too much time in a truck. I don't want people to have accidents. Yeah, there's so much garbage going on. But that's interesting, guys. And I mean, you think about it, um, that should concern everybody, that there's just a lot of weird things. So I should do the map again later this week. I'll pull up that US map. We'll do the balloon. See if I can get a better map, do the derailments, then do the refinery fires, and just start putting them on a big map so we could look at it. I love doing stuff like that. I'm looking at my wall here. That's why I looked up to the left here. I'm like, where could I put a map in my room? I have a blank wall over the TV. I could put a map on the TV, then put a camera facing the TV. It'd be like a college course. I'll be pointing at the little thing on the screen. Hey, Jessica, good morning. So, Watchmen, they should have bill of lading. Every chemical that goes on rail must have the source from whence it came and where it's going. And I know this from my years selling and dealing in commercial explosives. Is, you need your ATF license that verifies that that person, A, can own it, and B, has a place to put it that's safe and it won't get stolen, catch fire, electricity will hit it, whatever. But I had to fill out forms and say, okay, this is the request. Then my warehouse people would stamp, okay, this is what is here. And we had a camera, so we had video confirmation. I am sending 4 boxes of widgets to this dude over there. Then it would go in the truck. We had the number and name of the driver in the truck. Then it went to destination A and then to destination B. And that dude had to sign on the other end. So we had this very detailed chain of custody. For vinyl chloride, I would think they'd have a chain of custody. It would at least be a hazmat and a BOL to go with that. So there's something wrong here. All right, Alexandra, good luck. Best of luck this coming weeks. I know you got a lot on your plate. We'll keep an eye out for you. If there's something you want us to share, reach out to the content creators in the chat and we'll share it out for you, at least keep you getting those clicks while you focus on your studies. Best of luck. Uh, DAV showed up. Wait, Tyson. So random, officially as of September of last year, when they made open carry legal, they also made brass knuckles legal in Texas. So now I want to get a pair of brass knuckles. I don't know why I'd need them, but I could see the day I do need them be like the back of my mind. I should have bought the damn things. So yeah, I'll allow it. So yeah, folks, blow up Alexandra's channel, leave her likes and comments, keep her algorithm going while she's focused on other stuff. Hold on, wait. I lost track of who was talking in the chat. I think they need to disclose things. See, because they disclose, like Pelosi discloses, but there's no requirement that a spouse or near family. Well, think about it. Paul Pelosi, crackhead McBiden, the junior one, not the soldier who sadly we could probably use him more than his brother. All these little shady deals these people do. AOC's boyfriend and her college roomie who magically disappeared money. They never do it. They never get their hands dirty. They surround themselves with people and directives are given, but there's no paper trail. There's nothing printed out where they say, hey, go do this, go buy this stock. No. They say it over dinner. Oh, I'm going to meet my husband for dinner. Oh, hey, Paul, but go sell off widget stock and go buy $5 million of this other shit because we're about to pass a bill. That's what they should disclose is immediate family. I'd so love to see which congressional people, which federal employees like Dr. McMuffin, who wanted everyone to get a pinch that didn't work. I'd love to see the fact that his wife works for the CDC. I'd love to see them. Hey, Green Thumb, what's going on? I refer to him as Tater Tot. Oh no, he's an ugly ass tater tot. He's more like a spoiled potato. You know, the raunchy one that you put in the other side of the kitchen. Ugly spud. He's an ugly spud. Oh, is Joe being snarky in the chat random? I can't tell if that's smiling or sarcasm. Hey, hold on, I lost Green Thumb. There he is. There are no clean fights when you. Okay. Now I have context. Sometimes I see a funny comment, but I have no idea who was commenting on what above, so I have to kind of run back. Yeah, interesting. So I'm going to roll through some of the reports. So here's an interesting one in Africa. So the country of Chad, not the hanging Chad from the election, but Chad. U.S. intelligence points to the Wagner Group plot against a key Western ally in Africa. U.S. Shared intelligence with authorities in Chad that the head of the Russian paramilitary group is working with Chad rebels to destabilize the country with a directive of killing the country's president. We're going to start seeing that Cold War stuff again, where it's not the US, it's not Russia, it's not China, it's not the Brits or the French or the Germans, but it's so and so who happens to be friends with Vlad or happens to be friends with Potato, or you know what I mean? You're going to see. YouTube did not like your Espanol today. I don't know, man. I didn't see. I didn't see that his comment was held up. Usually it shows me. Hey, MMS, what's going on? Wait, hold on. I lost somebody. Somebody snuck in. Asked the teen. Hello, Texas Mama. Smash potato. He is smash. That's actually a good one. I like it. Speaks in Black Ops. Yeah. So, oh yeah, we are absolutely. Oops, smush. He may be smashed, or whatever the hell he puts in his head or body. Anyway, um, that's interesting. So they're going to try, and we're going to start seeing Chad, Africa. I'm curious where Chad is located. Oh, it's smack in the middle. Oh, well, that's interesting. So you know how Central Africa has a lot of minerals and resources, and look where Chad is. Like, ta-da! But it's just south of Libya. Oil is up here. They have minerals here, and Nigeria is a huge oil and gas and minerals, and then the Sudan, and then Egypt. That's interesting. They're after something there. You don't. There goes the guy running again. Maybe he's exercising. I guess he just put on whatever dirty clothes he had. He's like, I'm going to go for a run, and he's running in a blue jean and a hoodie, whatever floats his boat, man. To be fair, if he's running in blue jeans and a hoodie, that may be training for SHTF. The zombies show up. I won't have time to put on something cool, right? Whatever the hell I'm wearing is what I'm running with. So more power to him. Here's another one. Nigeria. I just pointed out Nigeria is a big oil and gas ally of the U.S. and the West. Um, Ahead of a crucial election, security crises and kidnappings are plaguing Nigeria's security forces. In the last year alone, armed groups killed more than 10,000 people. Now, election officials must secure more than 176,000 polling stations for the vote, with continuing threats on the polling station. Also, Nigeria got put on the dirty money list by a financial watchdog. So, not exactly the most awesome of friends there. But no, if you're talking about the train, they're not going to clean up. They're gonna delay and delay and delay until the people die. Oh, and somebody brought up North Korea. I think it was the Watchman. So going from Africa to East Asia Pacific, North Korea says it fired multiple cruise missiles as the U.S. and South Korea were in a training exercise. Um, the fact that they have half decent cruise missiles is concerning. That's a lot of between the artillery and the rockets. That would be very difficult for South Korea to defend from. So I'm telling you, that might be it right there. It's that, no, it'll be the local folks fighting. So, by the way, any of the mods who are there, if you want to put any of the content creators, I'm going to bring Nightbot back at some point. I removed Nightbot because he was being a jerk. And he may just be a advertise, like, hey, go to Instagram, go to YouTube, subscribe, he'd become a cheerleader in the chat. But then I want to set him up so that you could put certain code words and show your link so that the mods don't have to run around doing it. I'm not sure about Nightbot because that shit collects everyone's info. I didn't realize that. I used it for like 3 live streams, and like it records all the chats, who was in it, and I'm like, So I need to do more research as to where that goes, because they already like TikTok and other shit. They send our shit to China, so not so sold on that. But anyway, yeah. So North Korea definitely does have functional cruise missiles, and that's concerning. Then Afghanistan and Tajikistan, Russian-led Collective Security Treaty Organization. The hell is that? CSTO have completed a joint counterterrorism exercise in Tajikistan near the border with Afghanistan. So Russia's got their hands in stuff. We keep seeing Russia's on the retreat. Russia's going to fail. Russia's not going anywhere, y'all. They're in this for the long haul. They got their hands in Chad. They got Wagner Group in Chad. Wagner Group, for those of you who are familiar, is very much like, what was it, Blackwater? Like, it's not an agency. Like CIA is an agency, right? KGB or RSB, whatever they're called now, is an agency. Wagner Group is a entity. It's a company endorsed by the government, but they're a company. The government can be like, I don't know why they did that, kind of like Blackwater was. And we have all sorts of, PMC companies out there. The Brits have some great ones. Um, Actually, my company's evacuation team are a bunch of Brits and Scots. And I've actually got to meet them. We had some fun conversations, but I can't tell you what we talked about because then I'll get fired. Um, but I do know if I ever get in trouble overseas and they come for me, one, I'm in good hands, and two, their pilots are amazing. Anyway, moving on. Israeli settlers shoot and wound 2 Palestinians in the West Bank, which is unfortunate, but apparently the there's conflicting reports that the Palestinians were trying to bomb a bakery, and the Israeli government requires all able-bodied men and women volunteers to carry a sidearm or a rifle anywhere they go. So it's not uncommon to see people on the bus with a full-blown M16 on their back going to get groceries, because that's just the reality for Israel. Um, but yeah, that's yeah, this is interesting. Pakistan, a mob kills a man accused of blasphemy. Uh, he was arrested for being an ass, apparently, and then they went and stoned him. Oof, that's terrible. Um, okay, Tajikistan. Let's see, security outlook. Nope, that's not something I can read. Demonstration alert. Vienna, Austria. Road closer. So going to Europe from Africa. Uh, Demonstrations in Vienna, Austria. Police announced road closures and movement restrictions through downtown Vienna, which is like shutting down New York City, beginning Friday afternoon, February 24th. A large left-wing activist protest will be occurring. Now, Austria is also a very important manufacturing ally of NATO, and they're part of NATO. So that's concerning. Budapest, Hungary. Uh, demonstrations taking over demonstrations over the next week because of displeasure with the government. Um, and then there's actually a security alert from Kiev. I can actually read this one. This one is a missile attack. So surprise. For those of you who do want to look up the Israeli attack, that's from the Times of Israel. And the cruise missile report was NBC News for North Korea. Sorry, I should have given you guys the reference. The Wagner Group news was from the Wall Street Journal. That's interesting. So why is the Wall Street Journal paying attention to that? See, like I said, there's got to be money involved, because you don't just go into another country and pick a fight. Hey, True American Loretta. Hello. Oh, so Mad Dog, are they forcibly recruiting the expat citizens in the Ukrainian army? Yes, thank you, my mother Spark. And folks, if there are only a couple of mods this morning, so if you, I think Loretta's in here, my mother Spark. If you want to, and Klingon Princess is in here. You want to, if you have a channel and you're actively producing videos, or you're starting, if you are under 500 and you actually want to grow, you're not just kind of playing with it, let them know. And what I might do this coming week is we're going to have a live stream and let small channels, like we'll do a small channel review, anyone over under 250, and then anyone over under 500. Joe, did you hit 500 yet, dude? With your, like, Joe's whole theme is eat my shorts, literally eat my shorts. And he's got like 400 people following. Okay, if you don't make videos, that's fine. But if you do, or you're trying to grow, let us know and we'll try to pop you in there. Yeah, at Saudi, they just cut things off for people. It's kind of creepy. A lot of this is more conferences, energy sector, security companies, manufacturers. Oh, I like that one. Security conference and special speakers in the Bahamas. I want to go there. I wonder if my boss will send me there. Hey, I want to go to this conference in the Bahamas. He'd be like, get the hell out of my office, pendejo. And, I'll be run off. Well, he's Canadian, so he wouldn't call me a pendejo, but he'd think that word. I got to be careful because my boss, the big boss, our VP, he's an American, but he spent 8 years of his childhood in South America. So it's like a big, tall white guy. He understands Spanish. So when me and the Argentinians and the Mexican guys, we start cursing at each other, and I'll hear cackling in the back office, I'm like, ooh, the boss understood that we need to go away now before he realizes who was saying what. Leave the office. Hey, Mad Dog, can you show mine too, Romy? My whole thing is spirituality in the garden. Yes. Let me. My mother's sport. Hey, can one of the mods put Carol Ann's channel up there? He'd call me a hoser. No, my boss is Canadian. He'll straight up call me an ass. He'll be like, "Don't be an ass, get out of here." And now we have these young engineers, and some of them are like 2 years out of college, and these young guys and girls. And I've been around a while, but my kids are their age, so I can talk to them because I can relate. But now I've made a bunch of heathens, right? And so we'll go out and we'll meet, and like I had a golf tournament for a charity, and a bunch of us showed up. None of the group could play golf. We sucked so bad, but we got really loud and half lit going around the golf course, and then we won prizes. So we had this whole party in the corner, and the boss is like, "Really?" I'm like, "Hey, they saw us, man. You wanted us to be seen. We were seen." War Child Warrior. I call I call in the monk. Okay, I'll go check that out. Okay, thank you, Klingon, and my mother's smart. My mother's smart. My mother's spark. And by the way, a lot of us are having conversations about what's going on in the background. Like almost all the mods, we all have each other's numbers, and we've been texting, and we're all seeing the same thing. And I don't think anyone knows how to put their finger on what's going on because it's not linear, right? Like, okay, you have a train derailed here, and then you have two more here, but now there's a refinery fire. It's like, what the hell's you keep turning left and right, and it's making us insane. Let's see. Does kill people for crimes here. There. Mm. No, I had a work colleague was there. They were not using blades, but there was a beating, a public beating, I guess, with one of those long whackers for somebody did something wrong. And he said they put the guy in the hospital. Like it was legit a mugging with a paper that said you're allowed to mug this dude. Although I heard after it may have been a rapist, so maybe he deserved the beating. But yeah, there's some stuff they do that's just. Oh, so it's like one of those like apocalyptic jackets with the hood, and that he looks like kind of like this, and then he talks all scary. Yeah, suburban. There's so much more to it. I'm telling you, yeah, that's the truth. And it's funny because yesterday when the refineries came out, I texted a few people, including my mother's part, but there were several others, and a few of them were like, "Yeah, we just saw that." So then we're all trading notes in the background with different people, and so expect in the coming days some of the big channels too. I think Jason, Hudson, I don't know who else. They're all like looking into different aspects. So you're going to see a lot of coverage on this stuff, which is good. Um, but you're not seeing a lot of it in the news. Like it showed up and it's like, and then it stopped. And now they're talking about, Potato Jr. over there and his crackhead and the hooker that stole his iPad or whatever, and whatever pendejadas the man was doing. And it's like the public is ADD, like they can't focus on shit. And we're all sitting here, all of us who, interact on a daily and weekly basis, going, do you not see what's happening? This is not right. Oh, so yes, no, this actually I bought commercial, but it's a kafia or shabab, depending on where you where you buy it from or you get it from. So I got one of these kind of on a whim when I was down in Houston. because I needed a scarf, but the American style scarves were like, I couldn't tie them. They were messing with me, and they got hung up in my beard, and I was getting angry with them. And I have a buddy whose family kind of got run out of Libya or Syria by what's the president in Syria? Putin's buddy. Anyway, apparently his dad told Assad to go fuck a goat in a meeting because he was a colonel in the Air Force, and this was before Assad became president. So when he became president, uh, he called a meeting and they had words again. And then two of Assad's guys went there later and like beat up his dad. So the dad's like, you know what? That kind of sucked. And then they showed up and said, you know what, Colonel, you're retired. And he told his son, you know what, I'm taking the retirement. He took his little pension and he sent his kids to the US. He's like, we have family in the US, you're getting the hell out of here. But yeah, so random, this is actually I believe so. But Syria refer to it as a kafia. You'll also see it as a shabag, Shebbagh. I do like them. This one's a bit thin, but you can do the whole. Well, one, if you're in the heat, I never realized how useful these are in the summer until I work outside. I can do this whole. Uh, you know, um, you can actually. There's ways to wrap it around your face. Um, if you're in, now I found this is useful like in tropical environments. When I've gone to Louisiana, we'll go like shoot pigs, and the damn ants sometimes will fall out of the trees and go down your shirt, and they bite the crap out of you, the fire ants. So you can do one of these under your jacket, right? And you at least keep them out of your immediate, and you spray some bug spray in here, and they'll run off. Hey, off the wall. Why did they took busy sucking up to Dan? Man, I'm not sure who Dancing Boy is. I lost track of that combo, but that's funny. By the way, off the wall. Time to. Okay, one of the things I love about Off the Wall is Off the Wall can give as well as he can take. So definitely. Um, anyway, yeah. So Off the Wall is your channel gone, or is it in like forever jail? Because that kind of thanks for the channel drop. No, most definitely. But already Tiki Time. It's Tiki Time for Joe, dude. Eat breakfast, man. Or am I misunderstanding what's going on in the chat? Oh, Zelensky is dancing boy in ladies' clothes. Well, he's an actor, right? So he knows how to. I'm sober in the daytime. Okay. Thank you, my mother Spark. I owe you and Mark a coffee next time I'm up there. Or we'll just get a couple of bottles of wine and everyone will get sassy. We'll all just go sit down and have a couples night. Yes, absolutely. And I couldn't agree more. Folks, you're seeing in this stuff I just read out to you guys, and these are just excerpts, right? We've got Wagner Group in Chad trying to kill the president, according to intelligence from the other country. Nigeria, another crucial oil and gas company, they're reporting 10,000 people killed in the last like 6 months in political violence. Uh, Pemex having multiple fires, including Texas and in Veracruz. One is a refining hub, the other one is a pipeline hub for massive oil and gas contracts that affect both Mexico and the US. They're not only going after the Americans, they're hitting the Mexicans and the Canadians too. I mean, the drones or whatever those little UFO hoo-has were all up in Canada, and the stupid balloon. And these refineries are down in Mexico. Like there's stuff happening, and it's not linear, right? It's happening in little batches. It's like a bunch of derailments, refinery crap, drones and UFO things, and yeah, stuff's going on, y'all. Thank you, Loretta. Thanks for coming in. Loretta's got a lot going on too, so y'all be sure to be safe out there. Loretta, y'all take care. Folks, look, as Off the Wall said, do the things. Uh, and be systemic. Don't it shouldn't come from a panicky place. And I know it's hard some days you wake up and read shit and go, "Good Lord." Is that the last one I commented on? You were outside, right? And you were kind of holding the camera a little low, and it was, if I remember, it was like clear skies behind. You're like, "Hey, I'm back. Everybody be blessed. Do the things." It was a very generic message. Like it was not, oh, YouTube's Satan or whatever. And then all of a sudden, so I just started reading about Project Bluebeam. Um, God bless. That just annoys the crap out of me. All that work. That's, I think, what frustrates me the most. The guy wrote Project Bluebeam. So those of you who haven't heard about it, if I'm correct, this is, and there are different variations I've read, but basically it's a large fake Freddy involving either and or the second return of the Messiah and or the arrival of things from somewhere else, not of our planetary system. I'm trying to say that politically correctly so I don't get kicked. Um, okay, please do. That would be very good. Um, but in either case, it's a massive, like almost global, coordinated effort to create a single global entity that rules all. Oh, for the record, so there was a lot of concern about Potato signing this agreement with the, I don't know, the WHO or you know Men in Black or whatever the hell organization they were signing an agreement with about overriding our rights. And in reality, any treaty by the Constitution, all treaties have to be ratified by the Senate, and then, if I'm correct, they have to be agreed to by 2/3 of the states. Otherwise, it's simply a intent and not an actual treaty that's binding in any kind of court. But the fact that he's doing this just to at everybody, that pisses me off. Hey, you're done. Ah, I got you. Thank you, off the wall. Yeah, some of these subjects are can be dangerous to your. So yeah, be gotcha. Yeah, and yeah, you got to be cautious of some of this stuff. But in any case, uh, again, an agreement signed by the president is an intent. Constitutionally, it does not hold legal bearing without the ratification of the Senate and so many states. So I wouldn't panic. It's easy when you look at the headlines to read. I saw it, MMS. Thank you. Um, it it's easy when you read the headlines because the headlines are always made to get clicks because that's money, right? It's easy to read those headlines and it'll give you a heart attack. But when you dig deeper, simply signing an intent to help you or an intent to do something is not binding, no matter what an administration says without. Thank you. It's 2/3 of the Senate. Thank you. Thank you. I'm thinking of a constitutional amendment requires the states as well. Right. But it's 2/3 of the Senate. And yep, definitely. And train with your gear. Thank you, Off the Wall, for all your advice and all your support since I started this channel. I can't thank you enough. Just you and Dragonfly, be safe out there. I'm still livid. If there's anything you need me to share that won't get both of us in trouble, shoot me a text like we did before, or have Dragonfly find me, and we'll just kick it out and try and build up that following again. But defective actor. Well, he has to remember his lines to be a good actor. But all right, take care. Be safe out there. Hey, FSP, I'm glad you made it. The So the Watchmen. You know that's gonna come back, right? Um, the Watchman's gonna ride that horse for a bit. We're like, "Hey, look, you're back. Let me tell you what I think." Um, Her birthday tomorrow. It's her birthday tomorrow. Outstanding. There you go. Yeah, true, true. Hold on, I lost the track again. So, yeah, folks, be systemic in what you're doing, right? There's a lot of moving parts. We tried to map out the the various unidentified aircraft incidents and the derailments on a US map. And you can see trends, but it's really hard to make a linear projection and say this is what's happening because it's so sporadic. But if you think about the small wars concept, that's how it is. It's so erratic. It makes it difficult, but ultimately it goes to some end. Now, whether all of a sudden the United States has forgotten after like 200 years how to use trains, I don't know. Keep in mind, though, don't forget that the railroad workers tried to go on strike last year because there were not enough of them. Companies were taking shortcuts. You remember that? And we were all worried they would shut the railroads down last Thanksgiving. And that you don't see anywhere in the news now. Now it's just like, oh, there was an accident. Now let's keep talking about something else. There were all these attempts to go on strike by the railroad workers because there was not enough people. They were taking shortcuts. The equipment was not being checked. People's lives could be in danger. They would park the trains in the LA train yards and people would go and break into the trains. Like, that whole infrastructure was not being attended to. And then the government said, no, you will continue to work. And they made some kind of deal. And here we are 2 months later, we've destroyed East Palestine. Uh, but yeah, thanks for doing the map. Okay. And Farmer, I might do that again. Uh, I need a better mapping program because I was trying to use 3D paint, but the shapes, it only gives you limited shapes, right? Because it's one of those default programs. So the stars all look stupid, and then one star looked like a turd, and I'm like, yeah, this doesn't. I have little poops and circles everywhere, and it was just confusing. So I need to find a better way to do that because I enjoyed having everyone's input, the chat throwing out, hey, look, this happened here, this happened there, because I can look it up on the other screen, verify the location. And I think even a few of the mods were looking at stuff and saying, hey, that actually happened in this city, not that one. We're moving the stars around. And it gives you something visually to look at and go, what's going on? Like what is happening here? By the way, that's a great way to do your preps. And I'll close with this one is if you're doing preps and you're like, okay, what are my risks? Like, what do I need to prioritize? Look at your area. Do you have hurricanes? Do you have floods? Do you have a lot of power outages because of wind or snow or whatnot? You kind of do a risk matrix and say, okay, what is my most likely threat? My like 90% of the time, this will happen here. Like if you're in Oklahoma, it'll be a tornado, right? That's the big one there, or a snowstorm. But the snowstorms you kind of see coming are just like if here's a tornado. So poop works. That's true. The shit is happening here. Uh, yeah, I need to play around with it and see because I wanted to annotate it and I need to play with Google Maps and some of the others and see if I can use it in such a way that it's functional. Like we can on a live stream, you guys can point out things that are happening and we can use different icons and then kind of look at it. Because if I can do a half decent map, I can then can print it to a PDF or something or a JPEG and pop it on my community page and say, hey, this is the chat. This is what we came up with today. So, but yeah, folks, be extra safe. Yep, go Yeah, no, feed the kiddos. Go feed them. Well, he's falling up. That's what's weird. I could see an older guy, he's falling down the stairs. You get a little crookeded when a little crotchety when you're old. He's falling up. Like he's violating a law of physics, falling in the other direction. So anyway, hey, you're a prepper. Long time no see, man. A buddy from the East Coast. But folks, look, be systemic. And like I did on the live stream map where everyone was we were all collaborating in that big group. Um, start charting your local area and say, okay, what happens here? And if I had to pick a prep once a weekend for just my area, what would it be? Flooding, power outages, whatever. And that'll help give you some guidance and keep you in budget. And this year, with the inflationary rate and God knows with the economy, staying on budget's going to be an important part of your prepping. Because we could go, yeah, I'm going to buy this and stretch a bit, but you don't want to get caught with an emergency 3 months later and you have no cash. You know what I mean? Um, but in any case, guys, I'm going to let you all go with this one. You guys be safe out there. A lot of odd asymmetric incidents happening. These corporate and government public releases, there's a lot of stuff going on. So just pay attention, watch what's going on, continue to do what you're doing, be systemic, stay on budget, stay disciplined, and collaborate, talk to each other. We do, like a bunch of the content creators, we're always texting in the background. And yes, I have, usually chasing a child or a dog, because they can run faster than I can. But in any case, guys, be safe and go do the things and have a little fun. Enjoy a coffee or a drink later. It's a little too early for that right now. Anyway, you guys be good, be safe, and I will see you next week. God bless, guys.